What's up guys, it's Taylor and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be recapping the season premiere of the Challenge 35 Total Madness on MTV. Now personally, I gotta say that this is probably one of my favorite premieres. I'm not gonna say in a long time, but it's one of my favorite premieres. Like I said back in my cast breakdown video, I was very excited for the season to start. We got a lot of newbies, we got a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time, and you know, we got a lot of veterans that we see almost every season. It's a good mix of people, and the premiere really delivered. So let's jump right into things and let's get started. So the episode starts off with everyone in the helicopter. I thought that was actually a really dope scene. The lighting really set the mood. It is Total Madness. It's all red. Everybody's, you know, looking like they don't know what to expect. We as the viewers don't know what to expect, and I thought that was really dope. For some reason, I don't know if maybe I missed something, but they went from like the helicopter to the bus where TJ opened the doors and everything like that, but that was sick. It's always good to see TJ. And next scene, everyone is walking through the forest. You know, you got everybody talking, you know, they're newbies, they're saying, oh, I'm so-and-so from this show. We got the whole Bananas and West rivalry going, you know, and I gotta say, the whole Bananas and West rivalry is getting kind of old. I mean, we know they don't like each other, but do they really not like each other? Because I mean, of course we don't know in real life, but it's kind of old. You know, it's kind of old. But you know, Bananas makes his jokes about West. You know, about how he's ugly and everything like that. You know, we get the little rivalry going. Got the rookies all talking and everything like that. They all come to, you know, a standstill, and TJ shows up and he announces that the name of this season is going to be the Challenge Total Madness, and that the cash prize is $1 million. Everybody's stoked, and then they get into the challenge. So the first challenge is called Battle Lines, and what everybody has to do is they have to reel in medical supplies from this, like, it looks like some type of barrel or something like that. They have to reel in the medical supplies that's in the barrel, and then they have to like solve a math equation and a puzzle. And then while this is going on, TJ is also rolling through the fields. TJ and somebody else is rolling through the fields with tanks, and if your barrel gets run over, you're out. The guys are up first, and everybody thinks, you know, all the girls think that, you know, CT, Bananas, Jordan, West, they all got it in the bag. It seems like something they would be good at. But Jordan is actually the first one out. He's the first one to get his barrel ran over. I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, you know, but he's the first one out. And then ASAP's out, then Jay. Corey's actually the first one to get his barrel in full of his medical supplies to get started. Then Josh, then Kyle, then Fessy, you know. Then after that, I think Kyle, Nelson, and Corey all get eliminated, unfortunately. So CT's like the third person to complete stage 2. I think it's him, Fessy, and Rogan. And then Rogan wins for the guy, and he's stoked. He's a reigning champ. I feel like he's still, even though he won last season, a lot of people feel like he was ducking and dodging elimination. So, you know, I feel like a lot of people feel like Rogan still in a way has to prove himself, and I think Rogan still has something to prove to himself, that he just wasn't like a one and done type player. He won because he got carried. Like, he wants to prove to himself he's actually a really good competitor. He won the first challenge, and I thought that was pretty dope, so congrats to Rogan on that. Next up are the girls. So right off the bat, Jenny is putting the other girls to shame, man. She is putting the other girls to shame. She's reeling it in. She's going super fast. Melissa, Nani, Big T, Jennifer, whatever her name is, they all go out like really quickly. Jenny's the first to reach stage 2, no surprise there. Bailey gets eliminated. Tori, Anissa, and Casey all get eliminated, and it's basically D versus Jenny for the girls, going back and forth, defending champ versus somebody who's really strong in my opinion, and Jenny ends up taking it, you know, and there's no surprise there. I mean, it would have been cool if D won, but Jenny taking it, I think it just proves, like, you know, kind of like what I said in her cast breakdown. She is a good competitor. She's a really good competitor. You know, I was shocked when she went out against Tori. So she's once again proven to herself that she deserves to be here. She can compete, and she's solidifying herself. You know, so after that, TJ tells Rogan and Jenny that they're the first two to make up the tribunal, and they have to pick a third. And so I think they end up picking Corey, and TJ tells the house that they're responsible for nominating the guy. And then after that, the tribunal will pick 3 guys to interrogate and ultimately nominate to go into elimination. So next scene, challengers are racing into the house. We actually saw this, I think MTV released this the first 5 minutes of the episode not a couple weeks ago, but last week or something like that. So if you've been paying attention, you already saw it. But the challengers are running into the house. You know, everybody's super excited. Usually they're living in a big luxurious mansion and everything like that. And they get there and it's this bunker. There's no windows to the outside. I think they said it's not really a lot of air in there. Bunch of bunk beds and everything like that. Got the blanket, the toilet paper, the soap. It's very like military style up in there. They find the living room. I actually thought the living room looked kind of nice. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If I was like a vet on the show, and after living in like a luxurious mansion season after season, we get this bunker, I would be mad. And then if I was a rookie, like the first season coming in, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna live in a mansion, I would be mad too. So I can understand them all kind of being upset, saying it sucks. But I thought the living room actually looked pretty good. And then when they find the space where like it's the kitchen and the pool, and you know, they have like turf and everything like that, in an iron gym, I thought that actually looked really nice too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a bunker, but you make the most of what you got. So they all, you know, kind of get acquainted, and they're in their living spaces and everything like that. And once again, we see Wes and Bananas not going at it, but you know, they're talking about their rivalry and everything like that. I don't buy it, but hey. We got a little scene with Jenna, Kayla, and Nany. You know, they're like a 3-person alliance. I mean, supposedly somebody's supposed to be scared of them. They have no championships among them. But, hey, one in alliance, right? So they have their little alliance. Ashley and Big T are kind of talking. You know, Ashley's like, I don't really have anybody this season, so I'm trying to pull in, you know, she doesn't tell us to Big T, we hear this in the confessional, but I'm trying to pull in anybody I can to be on my side, because all my friends aren't here this season. I sent most of these people home last season, or I voted against them, and I don't have anybody. So her and Big T kind of have an exchange and everything like that. We see a little bit of the D and Rogan kind of thing. You know, D picks the bed right above Rogan. They kind of have their little thing. She said, you know, there's some feelings to resurface and everything like that. I'm actually interested to see how that plays out. I know in the trailer that was released, we saw D and Rogan, we saw D yelling at Rogan. So I'm interested to see where that goes, you know, later this season. So we got that. And of course, Nany, she finds somebody to latch onto the first night. Asaph, I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Nany, but I mean, I feel like she kind of values relationships and hooking up over actually playing the game sometime. I mean, she's more concerned about, you know, making sure Asaph stays than, you know, anything else. But hey, that's on her, I guess. We kind of see this whole flirty thing between Kayla and Bear, and as everybody probably knows, you know, Kayla has a boyfriend. I think she said that she had a boyfriend in the episode, and then Bear's flirting with her. I'm interested to see where that goes this season, because once again, there was some drama on social media, so we're gonna see how all that plays out. But they kind of had their thing. Next up in the next scene, we kind of have all the rookies talking. I think it was Swaggy, Bailey, Fessy, and Jay, you know, saying how, you know, most likely, like they do every season, they're going to come after the rookies when it's time to throw somebody in. So they should probably all stick together and, you know, have each other's back. I know everybody was kind of thinking it was going to be Swaggy and Jay or Asaph, and they kind of developed that solidarity right away. and they decide that they're gonna have each other's back. Next, at the nominations, CT starts things off. You know, he says that, you know, he doesn't really want to vote in Swaggy because Swaggy comes with Bailey, and if Swaggy comes back, him and Bailey are going to be a vote against you. And honestly, I think that's kind of smart. He said that he doesn't want to vote for Asaph because he doesn't want to, you know, take him away from Nany. I don't know why that would even be a factor, but hey, whatever. And then he says he doesn't want to vote for Fessy because Fessy is a beast. I mean, it was him, Fessy, and Rogan at the first challenge, and I think CT was right. CT was absolutely right. Don't want to throw Fessy in because, you know, he's most likely coming back, and he's definitely coming for you, and he can compete. So he picks Jay. And Jay is like, wow, you know, like, how do you know I can't come back? And I feel like that's fair, you know, because Jay, I mean, I don't want to, you know, we'll get to it, but Jay, I mean, I think he did okay in the first challenge. I mean, it was really hard to gauge anything on that first challenge. I mean, the 3 top players were, you know, who we thought would be at the top for the most part, you know, and everybody else was kind of just, you know, kind of middle of the pack. Like, it was hard to gauge of who's going to be good and who isn't going to be good, so I can see why CT would pick Jay. But Jay, I think he had a solid argument with, you know, with, hey, I could come back just like Fessy can come back, just like Swaggy can come back, I can come back too. So he had a solid argument, but ultimately he got picked. For the most part, it was pretty even until, you know, it got to the end and everybody started voting for, like, Asaph, really. And so Asaph ends up getting picked by the house to go in. We kind of see a little spat between Bailey and Jay. I thought that was kind of interesting. Bailey's not afraid to speak her mind. She's going to defend her husband. She's going to defend herself. And honestly, I admire it. So that was such an interesting thing. But back to Asaph. When Asaph gets picked, he when it's his turn to nominate someone, he nominates Wes. I don't know why he nominated Wes. I mean, I know everybody was like, ooh, he doesn't want to be, you know, scared or anything like that. But, I mean, you could have picked anybody. You could have picked Bananas. You could have picked CT. I mean, like, and, I mean, you could argue that it's not smart to pick those people. But, I mean, I just don't know. Personally, I don't know what Asaph was trying to prove by picking Wes. I mean, that he's a snake. I mean, maybe they had some type of interaction and we didn't see it, like it was a deleted scene, but I just, you know, he picked Wes for what? You know, I don't understand that. But anyways, he picks Wes. They kind of have their little spat. It gets broken up, but it is what it is. Next scene after the nominations and everything like that, we see Bananas and Wes once again. They decide that this season they could join forces. You know, we see them both in the confessional together talking about it. Honestly, I mean, do I buy it? I don't know. I feel like one is going to screw the other over because it's Bananas and Wes we're talking about here. If they actually put their differences aside and decided to work together, it could be something crazy. It could be something crazy and it could be dope, but I just feel like they both are snakes and somebody, I don't know who's gonna do it first, but somebody's gonna screw the other person over and that's gonna be the end of that. But for now, I guess they're joining forces, so that's interesting. We'll see how that plays out for the rest of the season. What do we have next? So next we have the tribunal. They're talking to each other. They're figuring out, you know, who they're going to pick and everything like that. Ultimately, they come up with Cal, Jay, and Wes. I thought that was interesting. I don't know why. Well, I know why they picked Cal. I know why Rogan picked Cal. They picked Jay because, you know, he's a rookie. You know, he's a rookie and, you know, he's got to earn his stripes, as they say. And then they pick Wes because nobody trusts Wes anymore on these shows. And so they have their interrogation. Each candidate makes, not candidate, but, you know, each nomination or whatever, they give their spiel about why they shouldn't go in. I thought Jay actually, if Jay, you know, continues to get cast on these shows, I feel like he has a pretty solid political game. I know he came from Survivor. Like I said, I didn't watch that show, so maybe he did have a good political game on Survivor. I don't even know how you play Survivor, but he has a pretty good political game. Like he's a good talker. He's a good communicator. He can say, like, you know, why he shouldn't go in. I mean, now whether or not it worked, I mean, we'll get to that, but he's actually a really good communicator. He can plead his case, and that's really interesting. I want to see how that plays out later on in the season, and if, you know, he's any good you know, in any other area of politics. So he makes a good case. He's like, you know, why would you put me in? I don't know any of you. I just got here. Why don't you put somebody in to take out somebody you want gone? You know, put Cal and Wes. I think it was Cal and Wes, or Cal and somebody in, and get one of them out. You want them out, put them against each other, you know, but or Asaph and Cal, I think. But, you know, that was an interesting and solid argument. And then they, you know, interrogated Wes, and then they interrogated Kyle. And it was what it was. Ultimately, when we get to, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. After that, we all go to the, not we all, they all go to the elimination ground, which this season is called Purgatory. Dope name, looks pretty scary. So in Purgatory, at Purgatory, the tribunal selects Jay to go in because ultimately he's a rookie, and, you know, Rogan, you know, he wants to save Kyle. He's like, I hope this means me and you can trust each other. And they said they didn't really know where Wes's head was at, but they're not going to try to make that big move right off the bat. So they put in Jay, and it's Jay and Asaph. Now, at this elimination, I think it's called Airstrike. I thought this was a pretty dope elimination. I mean, they're up in the air, and they have to knock the other person off the bar. The objective is to knock the other person off the bar. So they get started. Right off the bat, Jay has great strategy. He's a climber. I didn't know that Jay was a climber, but obviously that worked to his advantage because he had really good strategy right off the bat. Asaph, who is also in great shape, he didn't have great strategy. He exerted a lot of his energy up front. You know, he was holding himself up on the bar instead of relaxing. He was, you know, exerting all his energy to push the glass towards Jay. And ultimately, I think he was just, you know, he got tired, and Jay took the first round. Going into the second round, Asaph, I think, tried to change his strategy a little bit. But once again, ultimately, Jay knocks him off the bar. I'm assuming that they were up there way longer than we saw on TV because everything's edited, but I don't know. But that was a pretty good elimination, interesting elimination. But, you know, Jay had really good strategy, you know, and I think he earned that. He really did earn that. He proved himself, and he won. So after that, after we see Asaph go off, TJ explains that this season is a huge twist. If you don't win an elimination, you will not be going to the final. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like in one way, it is a really dope twist. Everybody has to go down there. Everybody has to prove themselves. It doesn't matter if you're a vet and you've been to however many finals and you've won however many times. If you don't win an elimination this season, you're going home and you're not going to a final. Period. In one way, that's cool. In another way, I think about it because TJ says the whole thing about, oh, nobody's skating by this season. But, I mean, put it like this. If I am really good at daily challenges and I go in and I dominate every daily challenge and I win, or I'm close to winning, or whatever the case may be, I didn't skate by. I proved myself. I never went into elimination because I was good at daily challenges. I'm always in the tribunal, whatever the case may be. And so I don't have a problem with the twist, but I don't think that it should be used as, you know, oh, people can't skate by anymore. You know, that's how I really feel about it. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a dope twist. I'm interested to see who goes into, you know, elimination, because you have to go if you want to make it to the final. So there's no, oh, I don't want to go into elimination. You kind of have to. So I'm very interested to see how all that plays out this season. TJ talks about the helmets. You know, I think on the helmet, if you win an elimination this season, you get a red skull because that's for this season. But also, however many eliminations you won in the past is on your helmet, and how many finals or you've either won or been in. I'd have to go back and look at that. But I think that's really dope, and I'm interested to see how the twist plays out. ultimately, the premiere was really good. Ended great. Hour and 30 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna do hour and 30 minutes every episode or if that was just for the premiere, but we'll see. We see the trailer of what's to come in this season, and honestly, I know I keep saying it, but I am really excited for this season of the challenge. I think it's gonna be a good one. I'm interested to see how everything plays out, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. But that's all I pretty much got for you guys today. Thanks for watching this video. I hope I didn't ramble too much for you. If you made it to this point in the video, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna be coming with more videos, more recaps of the challenge, maybe some other things too. My spring break is over, so I can't give you 3 videos a week like I did last week, but I definitely will be coming with more videos. So like I said, like and subscribe, hit the bell if you want to know whenever I post, and I'll be back as soon as possible. For now, peace out.